Hi guys, welcome to the Roshambro's podcast. Minus Max 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Here we go again.
There we go. I'm Kien.
I'm Jay Oldenkamp.
I'm Ryan Freeman.
Well, like we always do. Guys, what have you been up to?
Well, what have I been up to?
I've been sick as shit.
Key has been sick. I just got plane tickets to go to Arizona next month, so that's what I've been up to.
That's pretty exciting.
That's pretty,
man.
yeah. I love Arizona. I think Arizona's super beautiful.
I've never been, but I'm pretty excited to go.
That's got the Grand Canyon, the world's biggest hole that people visit.
Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really going for the Grand Canyon. I'm more going to get drunk.
You can get drunk at the Grand Canyon, like that's
Just
the
don't
thing.
fall in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more going to go bar hopping and shit with all my old friends. So
Yeah, no, that's understandable.
Nice.
I really I do though. I think Arizona, I avidly rock climb though, so Arizona's just fucking pretty, and it's reminds me of the Wild West deserts. That and Utah, southern Utah and Arizona are my two favorite places because I feel like a fucking cowboy if I was on a horse or some shit like that.
The Chinaman.
I will kill you. But no, I think it's really beautiful. There's a lot of fucking hidden areas with beautiful waterfalls and
really
shit
cool,
like that.
actually.
It's really cool.
well, if I get out of the city and see those sites, I'll let you know. But odds are,
But will you remember them
mostly-
if you're that drunk?
we're mostly going to be in Phoenix.
That's
so.
it's better than Tucson. Yeah, it's just Tucson is just dumb people everywhere.
Oh, now it's me.
And we might go up to Vegas for a night because apparently it's only a 4-hour trip from there. So.
Dude, Vegas is the tits though.
Yeah, Vegas
Adult
is sweet.
Disneyland.
It's even for kids now though. They have
So,
yeah.
What?
yeah, if you ignore all the porn that's littered across the streets.
Okay, no, there really is. There's a lot more things for kids. Because the last time I went to Vegas, it was very, child friendly. Even the strip, they're like, go to the M&M Museum. I was like, wait, what? I don't have children. Can I get drunk there? No, it's for kids. Oh, no. No, thanks.
Jay?
I've been working, and then I've been reading the new Thrawn book, and that's about it.
What is Thrawn?
It's a code, so it's the new Star Wars book by Timothy Zahn, who originally wrote the stuff about Thrawn, and then it became non-canon, and now it's back into canon with Star Wars Rebels, and so this book's a prequel explaining how Thrawn resurrects. It's really good, so.
Ah, well, yeah. Yeah, I've been sick as shit. I've felt like death for the past 2 days. And we've been playing copious amounts of Metal Slug.
It's dope.
Oh, so much nostalgia. So basically, Metal Slug is when I don't know how to explain this. So it's like an '80s action movie. It's like Contra,
A really fast-paced
space Contra. I think we make it fast paced though because I just gotta mow through shit. So the plot is really simple. There's this evil, and you don't get this unless you read the legitimate wiki,
Oh, God.
which I read. There's 7 Metal Slugs, by the way.
What?
Yeah. The last game came out in 2007. So what happens is that there's this evil dictator guy who's doing the coup de grace, which is basically just overthrowing governments with a special tank called the Metal Slug. So this team called Team Metal Slug, which in the beginning is just 2 guys, which is the main character who wears a red jacket and has a white bandana, and the other main character who wears a yellow jacket and has sunglasses. So that's
Wait, that's not an eye patch?
No, they're sunglasses.
Okay.
you
Yeah,
turn around-
that makes sense, yeah.
It's sunglasses. It'd have been cooler if it was an eye patch. No, I think it's a sunglass because if you turn it to the other view, he still has the.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're just. The purpose of the game is just mow shit down and then fight different enemies, and basically you're in the first literally looks like Vietnam, the second is Russia, then Germany. It's
Yeah,
very androgynous of where you're at, but it's a fun ass game.
it is. Then you get the shotgun. And
Yeah, I enjoy it. I don't know if you. I know it sounds like Jay did. Ryan, did you enjoy playing it?
It was alright.
Okay. Nah. Nah. Besides that, I've also just to recap, I sent the first draft of issue 1 to Dan, and it was 24 pages.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he reads it. I also sent him some more side notes because I ended up writing more. It's a lot harder than I thought to write something. Not in like a, not, no, and I'm going to explain this. Not that like, it's not hard just to be like, this, and this happened with these people. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Like, writing what they look like, that's hard. Like, you have to make, like, some kind of backstory for these characters, even though they're not going to be important in the later thing. And that's what's hard, because I'm just like, huh. This sounds a little racist if I try to describe him like that. Like, thank gosh it's not like a novel, because, like, one day I wrote, like, he's black and wear dreads. I'm like, is that racist? Is like, because, like, I don't want to, like, to make it ever feel like all black people wear dreadlocks. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, you guys made fun of me because I said he's gonna fight a crippled person. Like, I think everyone is equal. Like, I do. Like, I really. There's an old anime I used to watch called Yu Yu Hakusho, and he fought everything from like vampire women to transgender. And he's like, if you want to fight me, you want to fight me. I don't care what gender or what you are. Like, you're gonna fight. Let's fight. And that's where I just stand, where it's just like, just because he's in a wheelchair doesn't mean he's going to be like, fucking like, you know, like, weak as shit.
He's got huge arms.
No, he's not
small
even.
legs.
No, it's not even. Wow. It's not even. But it's not even that. It's just
I'm
like.
in a wheelchair. I skipped leg day every day to the point where that my lower body couldn't carry my upper body. So now I'm confined to the restraints of this.
Okay, I'm
wheelchair.
pretty positive that's not what I said. This is what's gonna happen. But yeah, so hopefully Dan reads it and gives me a good outline sketch of what the first issue is gonna look like, and we go from there.
I don't think we talked about your comic book in the sober podcast, did we?
No, we didn't.
I think we talked about it in the drunken one. That
Yeah,
didn't go
so,
up.
alright, so what I'm doing is I'm writing a comic book called Lakeside Beatdown, originally called Super Awesome Lakeside Beatdown, but it was the title seemed super long, and so I was like, fuck it, let's not do it. Let's not call it that. So the premise is based on, like, my love for, like, beat-em-up games in the 90s, like Final Fight, fucking Double Dragon, and Battletoads, but also my love for shonen battle anime, which is what you picture your Dragon Ball Zs, your One Pieces, and your Narutos. And so that's the idea is like these two guys named Keith and Greg are defending a beachside from a bad guy who wants to destroy it. That's pretty much it.
Yay.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it. It's just, I feel like I don't want the podcast to be taken over with the fan theory.
Well, what's going to happen?
Yeah. So, while we get on to that, we might as well just get on to our news. And the first thing is we're just going to beat up on these X-Men news, which is 5 of them altogether. And the first ones we're going to talk about is the X-Men film's slated release dates are all next year.
Oh.
So New Mutants is supposed to come out 4/13/18. So in April?
Oh God.
No, that's April.
That's April.
April 13th, 18th. Deadpool comes out June 1st, 18th. And the Dark Phoenix Saga is supposed to come out November 2nd, 18th.
It's gonna be X-Men Overload.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Well, X-Men's good. Like,
X-Men's okay.
Okay.
It's not good.
Okay, the last
It
several
was
besides
good.
Logan or the Wolverine.
X-Men, X2, and Logan are good.
Yes, they were
The
good.
rest of them are.
They could do better. But
Yeah.
the thing that really, like, I think the New Mutants might work because it's like X-Men, the original X-Men, but instead of the X-Men, you have the New Mutants, which are the new generation of X-Men in the comic books.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's that. Deadpool 2. with that in mind, they also cast Josh Brolin, who's actually also Thanos in
Yeah.
the Marvel Universe, as Cable.
Mhm.
But hopefully they can, like, throw a little bit of you look like you're out of this world, Cable. Or something like,
bet
just
they
like a
will.
quick nod to, like, that he's going to be Thanos.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah,
He's
and
Deadpool.
I'm super excited for Deadpool 2 after the teaser trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which so happened as I rewatched it, there was a Firefly posters in the background of one of the scenes, and I was like, he gets me. And then the Dark Phoenix is, I saw it in X3. I don't think they can do it as good, anyways.
Yeah.
Which they hinted at X-Men Apocalypse, that they would have Phoenix because Jean Grey uses her full power and, like, burns the shit out of Apocalypse.
Well, I don't really like the casting for the new Jean Grey.
Really?
Yeah,
Sophie
not,
Turner?
Not a big fan.
I like the new Nightcrawler. I think he's pretty dope.
He was.
He didn't really have much to do besides
He can.
cage fight for a real quick minute, and
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was interesting.
I don't know. We'll
I don't
see.
like the new Scott Summers. I think he's kind of like, well, I always thought Cyclops kind of like a whiny little bitch in the
He was
movies.
a whiny little bitch,
Yeah.
but the throwback suit was cool. When it ended the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's about it.
and then Storm. I think she was really lackluster.
Yeah.
She was.
I don't know. Most of the new cast was pretty lackluster for me.
And I feel like I have a very unpopular opinion on this, but I don't like the X-Men's Quicksilver.
I mean,
I think he's OP as shit,
I don't
and it
know, a lot
bothers
of-
me.
I don't know. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. A lot of people don't seem to like the way
But
they
there were
did
some people like,
Quicksilver.
that scene was awesome. Like, but it's so dumb. Like, okay, I like Avengers
Yeah.
version of Quicksilver a lot better than I like,
Including the shitty accent.
including the shitty. I do. I like him a lot better because he's got super speed, but it's not to the point where it's like omnipotence,
Yeah.
and like he has more of a character.
He does.
Like, he has a reason why he's a dick. Like, this Quicksilver's like, whatever, bro. It's cool, dude. Look at me wearing a shirt that isn't technically supposed to be... I'm not supposed to be able to even know what Pink Floyd is in this time of the 80s, but yeah.
Too bad the good Quicksilver got shot.
Yeah.
For now.
For now. He was
Yeah.
he's technically signed on a multiple movie deal. Maybe he'll show up
Well,
as a
he'll probably
hallucination.
show up again then.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed. And with that, let's talk about other movies that are coming out into pre-production as the Avatar sequels. Yeah, okay.
Hey.
Yeah. And I have there's the release dates for apparently the fucking 4 Avatar movies that are supposed to come out. December 20th, December 2020, December 2021, December 2024, and December 2025.
Yeah.
Is Star Wars gonna still keep releasing their movies like in December?
It kind of seems like that.
Because I don't know what the fuck they're thinking if they think that Avatar is gonna compete with the new Star Wars movies.
It's
that are
probably,
gonna come
yeah,
out.
I don't know.
It's a stupid decision.
I think it's a word of mouth thing. Maybe James Cameron's just like, he's got a huge dick and he's like, "Ugh,
Well,
yeah."
also, like, Avatar made a bunch of money, but it's not exactly like a highly regarded film or anything.
It's highly regarded visually. The
Visually,
story
yes.
is basically Dances with Wolves.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Nobody. It's another sequel that nobody really asked for.
Yeah,
Yes, it
and
doesn't need a sequel at all.
It wasn't fun.
But like, I mean, I guess James Cameron just has to like pat his own ego.
Yeah, he
Like,
does.
He hasn't made a good movie forever.
Yeah. It's just one of those things. It's weird. I don't get it.
Mhm.
Like, yeah. So another thing is, we have just a couple of trailers this week. That, they couldn't see it, but I saw the trailer for Krypton, which was on their Facebook feed for a bit. I think they took it off because it was a live feed. It looks interesting-ish enough. I can't tell if it's about Jor-El or if it's about Jor-El's father. It's very ambiguous, but it's like, this is the house of L, and this is what you're going to be brought up with. And the last thing they see is the Superman symbol, the S, which is actually a hope, stands for hope, apparently. No, that's an S. Just don't do that. I hate when they try to change this symbol. This is a symbol for peace. Pretty sure that's an S.
Yup.
No, I'm Hope Man. So there was that one. And then we saw the trailer for Star Wars Rebels.
Oh, we also saw Cloak and Dagger too.
Yeah, but we...
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
I thought we weren't gonna bring up Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, we were...
Fuck.
Dude, you talk about one trailer per thing. You don't just jump in...
I'm sorry.
No, you're not!
All right, Star Wars Rebels.
Star Wars Rebels. Jay, you gotta take the helm in this, because I don't
Okay,
know
okay,
any
so-
shit about this.
Fuck you. So anyway, this is the fourth and final season. This was on Dave Filoni's decision, not Disney's. He thought this because since the timeline for Rebels is pretty close to where Rogue One is going to take off from. And so like the first, 30 seconds, so it's just flashbacks from yeah, what you said, Brian. Is flashbacks from the previous seasons. And then it's, I'm pretty sure a lot of them are going to die besides Hera, Syndulla, and then Chopper, who were both in Rogue One. Also, it showed, which is cool, they brought some back from the EU. They brought back the Nogri, and they brought, which is a little lizard-like small race that were bodyguards for Darth Vader and Grand Admiral Thrawn, who they brought back last season. And they brought back his bodyguard Rook, who in the expanded universe killed him. So that may be a red herring. They might kill him with Rook, but I don't think they will. But it's cool. They're bringing back stuff. It should be an interesting season.
Yeah, I never watched Rebels because it's on the Disney Channel, so fuck
Yeah,
that.
I also never watched Rebels, and Cloak and Dagger sounds like a really good TV show.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
I'm just
it
giving you
looks
shit.
too
I'm just cutting
angsty.
through. I'm just cutting through. Before we talk about Cloak and Dagger, we have another Star Wars trailer, The Last Jedi.
It's not really showing much. Like I'm pretty
But did
excited.
you guys saw it though, right?
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
it, yeah.
I'm glad if it is The Last Jedi, because man, I'm one of those people. I think Jedis are just kind of overrated.
I think I kind of agree with like the fan theories going around out there that Luke's gonna be like the last true Jedi and that Rey's gonna become more of like
A middle ground.
a gray Jedi.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing
what,
too.
What they're calling it. Like I haven't watched any of like the Rebels or anything, so I don't know like shit about gray Jedi other than that like they don't really side with like either the light side or the dark side. They're just kind of this like chaotic neutral kind of thing.
Which is much more understandable than full evil or full good.
Yeah, I like the gray Jedi thing more. I think that makes more sense.
It does.
Because like the Jedi, let's face it, the Jedi have some dumbass rules.
Well, like, even
you
Yoda-
can't be in love with anybody.
Even
How
Yoda,
is that evil?
I think it was in Clone
It's all
Wars,
about-
Yoda said something about how he admits the Jedi Order has taken some stupid things and
It's all about
Scrap it.
attachment. You can't be attached to things.
Yep.
It's not about love. It's more just attachment.
That's so stupid.
I mean, it's
You can be attached to things.
it takes kind of what it
I think
takes
it's
kind
like
of is more as like a
Buddhist. Yeah.
mindset of
Mm.
like you can have friends, but you can't be attached because nothing is permanent in the world.
Yeah.
In a way, like the last Airbender brought it up when it comes to opening your 7 chakras. Is that like one of the chakras to open up is like to feel the warmth and love that is around you, and then the 7th chakra is to let go of that warmth and love, even though that helped you to reach nirvana. You in the end it'll disappear. Again, granted, don't anyone like fucking try to be like you're wrong, Kien. This is how this works. I'm like I know. I'm just speaking from what a child's TV show taught me about detachments and chakra. La.
But I mean, like other than that, the trailer didn't really give much other
Which
than
is
like
expected, I think.
your
It's-
typical. It's your typical Star Wars
Mhm.
trailer. Like it really didn't do anything for me. I was like, cool, Star Wars is Star Wars is back. I already knew that would be back, so
Yeah. Well, I mean, it shows like Finn's okay. That makes me feel good.
Yeah.
well, you knew Finn. Was
I knew
gonna be
Finn was
okay.
gonna be
Yeah.
okay, but like, you know.
Speaking of Star, wait, did I say last podcast that they're bringing a new character into this, or not?
Yeah,
But it-
they're bringing a new character.
A new
into
character,
it.
this Asian
Yeah,
chick.
she's a rebel mechanic.
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully, she has a big major role in this. Go color people.
Apparently onto the panel on Star Wars Celebration, she has a decent role. So
Yeah, I think she's gonna be big.
The only thing I am actually less hyped about this movie now than I was before,
Less Kylo Ren.
because I figured out that the director who he directed Looper.
He did.
And
there's something else he did too.
he did another movie. Directed a couple episodes of Breaking Bad that were really good, and he's really known for like not lighthearted stuff. But then he went and said that he wants this movie to be like more fun and upbeat than Empire was, and I was like, that's not what I wanted though. Like
I'm fine with that.
I
but-
wanted, like, after The Force Awakens, I was like, bring on the darkness, baby. I want to see.
That's
like,
why Rogue One came out.
Yeah, but that, like, barely. That made me want, like, another one. Because I liked that so much more than The Force Awakens. Like, give me more
Like
of
everyone
that.
died in Rogue One, just like no one lived.
Maybe not, like not
Princess
like.
Leia lived.
I don't need everyone dying. or
Not
anything.
really.
Yeah.
I just want to see a more serious story than what The Force Awakens was for the sequel.
Yeah, like what's your name? FI4N. FI4N. I'll just call you Finn.
Yeah, like, fucking, like, go fuck yourself, J.J. Abrams. Like,
I still like 7, so
it's okay. The more I watch it, the less I hate it, but I still hate it.
I just thought it was boring.
I also, as long as, like, I don't know, if they make Kylo Ren less of a bitch in this one, I'll be more
I think it
okay
made
with
him
it.
this character. I think it was like, it was.
it's a Skywalker tradition.
Even the stormtroopers were like, "Yep, I'm gonna walk away from this."
Like, just less. I don't know. To me, The Force Awakens felt like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. The more they went on, the more they tried to throw in like the cute humor and stuff. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, fuck this. Like,
Oh, that's
this isn't
understandable.
what I want.
It's understandable. But
So you want them to put more of a cloak into it,
No.
little darkness.
I don't want teenage angst. There's a
Fuck
difference
that.
between having a competent, serious toned story and teenage angst movies.
Speaking of teenage angst, the Cloak and Dagger trailer.
Angst out the wazoo.
It's a trailer. My name's something something, and what's your name?
If you
Tyrone.
wanted the,
here's your tape.
if you wanted the Twilight of the Marvel universe, here you go.
It's very, oh man. Their story is though very teen angsty though. Like their powers, they can't be too close to each other, but they need them because if Cloak isn't near a high source of light energy, he'll consume himself, and if Dagger isn't near any kind of darkness, she'll be overpowered with her energy that she could explode. So their powers are very yin and yang.
I was just saying, damn it.
And they can't but they can't be together, but they're together. I don't know how to explain. Like,
So it's the ultimate.
So, like-
friend zone.
in the trailer, like when they ran into each other and there was that kind of explosion, like it's dangerous for them to like be close.
yeah, I
together.
think that's what they're implying because they just got their powers. Because like they get their powers because they go to this party, and they're drugged by scientists and experimented on.
I know the ending to this series.
What?
They're finally gonna bone and it's gonna make the world explode.
But yeah, there's some like cool hints to like Cloak's costume. Is like he wakes up and he just has a blanket over him. I'm like, all right, okay, that's understandable. And I don't think Jay ever found out if that was Kevin Bacon or not.
It's Kevin Bacon. I'm pretty sure it's Kevin Bacon.
Yeah,
I
there's a
think
guy in it that looked like Kevin
Kevin
Bacon.
Bacon.
Jay was on a mission to figure it out.
I couldn't
if it was
find
actually
any. I think it's
Bacon or
Kevin
not.
Bacon.
So
Fucking
maybe
just
Kevin
typed in
Bacon is in
Kevin
this
Bacon.
TV show. Heather Graham is in this TV show though. She plays like Dagger's
Oh, yeah.
drug obsessed mom. It looks like. And then apparently Dagger used to be a ballerina or something, or
That's
has a
what it
weird
looks
fetish
like.
for dancing.
Black Swan.
Yeah.
Dagger Swan.
Except with all the lesbian action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More TV news. I guess this is just we're gonna end with TV news, and then end with Guardians. Actually, Doctor Strange's director Scott Derrickson is going to direct the first episode of Hulu's Lock and Key.
That's pretty good.
And I didn't really read Lock and Key that much, but Jay did. So,
I didn't read it. Like, I listened to the audiobook.
so if you
and,
could take the helm for what it's about.
it's like, so there's these kids, and their dad is killed by this one other kid who's being controlled by this MC called Echo. And his dad and his brother are from this house called the Key House. And these keys, basically, you use them and you can become things like you can become like this ghost, or it'll take you to like another place. And these keys are powerful, and Echo basically wants the keys. From what I've listened to so far, it's pretty dark here and there, and it's really entertaining.
Yeah. And so, is it a horror? Or is
I'd
it-
say it's kind of horror. It's horror-ish.
Horror.
Fuck you.
Okay, so because this is the guy who also directed Sinister 1 and 2, and he did Doctor Strange. So, like, I think that's why they picked him, because it's more like the bizarre science fiction. That's why, like, I think it's interesting. Like, he also did The Day the Earth Stood Still, but, you know, we don't talk about that
the
movie.
one with the
Keanu
Reeves.
Reeves. Yeah.
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 I low-key love that movie.
Oh, God.
It was okay.
Yeah. So
I
there's
just like it
yeah.
because Keanu Reeves is
Yeah.
so weird.
So there, and then X-Files is returning for 10 more episodes this year.
Ooh.
Woo, yeah,
Like,
it's
I see. If I haven't watched the new ones, I
it's
have
very
no opinion on it
lackluster.
yet.
It's okay, but not like I deserves a garnishing of a second.
I think should just go back to doing movies instead.
Yeah, no, because that I Want to Believe movie was dumb too.
Was that which one was that? Was that the one with the Frankenstein like thing or what?
No, it was the latest one, 2007.
Yeah, that's the one where they like the
Oh,
guy
is it?
basically put like dogs' heads on people and other shit. Like
Yeah, that movie was fucking
Yeah,
weird,
it was
dude.
weird.
That shouldn't be made again. But no, I think it should just be buried. I think it should be done.
I don't know. I'll give it a chance, but
There's only few shows that are nostalgic and they come back as awesome, which we'll talk about in our topic.
I think Netflix just needs to learn that shows get canceled for.
Well, this is Fox.
yeah,
Oh,
Fox.
Fox bring it back.
Yeah, Fox has brought it back twice now.
Oh, okay. Because I know Netflix had that X-Files series on it, so I thought that this was.
No, Fox just had the
that-
original X Files on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. I thought this was a continuation of that Netflix series.
Mhm. And with that in mind, Call of Duty is going back to World War II games after over a decade.
That's good.
That makes me so
Fine.
pumped. I got really sick of the whole future shit. I'm sorry. Like, anyone who's like, advanced and modern warfare are amazing. I was like, no, dude, did you ever play COD World at War when you fucking landed on a mine and your leg blew off? That shit was tight.
I mean, Modern Warfare was good. The first and second one were good. Third
Yeah.
was lackluster.
Yeah, 1 and 2.
One and
But,
two.
good.
like, Advanced Warfare and stuff like that, it's basically just Halo.
Yeah.
It is. Not gonna
Like-
lie. It's
I will give Advanced Warfare this though. You can beat the shit out of people with boxing gloves, and that looks really fun.
We what?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I do admit, Advanced Warfare Zombies is pretty fun now.
You mean Infinite?
Wait, is that Infinite I'm talking about?
Yeah, you
Fuck.
own Infinite, not
I do.
Advanced.
Yeah.
Okay, so Advanced
Yeah.
Warfare, because I was watching Max play this. You start out with the melee weapon as boxing gloves, and it's basically like a dual wield weapon because like the left trigger is your left hand and the right trigger is your right hand, and it's just fun as shit. Because you just watch people fly. Because it's a one hit melee weapons are one hit KOs in that game. Like, you can, like, purchase a battle axe or a mace. It's just gonzo shit insane. It's fun. I'll give him that.
I mean, like, the only thing I'd like, I just like to see Call of Duty do like a good campaign.
That
I
would be
wanted
nice.
to go
They
back
had
to
a
its
good
roots, to
campaign
be
for a
honest with
long
you.
time.
I just kind of wanted to go back
Well, I
to
think
its
the-
roots.
Well, what happened is Modern Warfare 2 came out, and then that was like the best one. And then every single campaign after that just copied Modern
Well,
Warfare 2's
I thought
campaign.
Black Ops was okay for a campaign.
Have you seen the side by side? I can't remember which campaign they took it from, but it was Modern Warfare 2, and then there was another one that came out like years later.
Mhm.
They did the side by side comparison. Literally, it was like the exact
Oh my
shots from Modern
God.
Warfare 2, just like in a different setting being used.
That's hilarious and sad at the same time.
That's fucked up.
It was like somebody trying to prove a point of how Call of Duty is literally the same game every single year, which it is. But
Yeah, it is. Also, we have the lineup for the new Warriors TV show, which is all right. I'm a little iffy on this, to be honest with you. So they consist of Squirrel Girl, who is the power of squirrels.
I bet she loves nuts.
Yeah. Mr. Immortal, who can't die.
So he's Huckleberry Finn, got it?
Night Thrasher, who's black and is rich, so he's Black Batman. Speedball, who can control kinetic energy and create like kinetic energy balls that like blow up, or if he can like circle it around him and he can go faster. Micro, which controls diseases,
What the fuck is Warriors?
I have no idea.
and Debris, who has low level telekinesis that she can only pick up like debris of shit. And then
So a bunch of like sea level people.
yeah, they're lackluster teenage
Make a
heroes, but
bee.
they're like they okay. So New Warriors originally is like they're just these kids that they're like a reality TV show.
Okay.
That's what they are. They're these teens that are like, hey guys. They're the reason why Civil War happened, because they're recording in the comics. They're recording like, hey guys, it's the New Warriors. We're here to stop this villain named Nitro, and then Nitro blows up a school, and like, yeah. So they're basically the reason why Civil War happens, and so that's what they are. They're like these like, we're like a live action TV show. It's basically like Big Brother with superheroes.
Interesting.
So I mean, it's an interesting concept. Whether or not it's going to be good, because it is also on Freeform, like Cloak and Dagger. So we're just going to have to wait.
Marvel's just going ham with their properties, man. Like,
Well, DC has Legends of Tomorrow, Flash, and Arrow. Plus,
yeah, but nobody
Supergirl.
gives a shit about DC.
I do. Fuck
I
off.
do.
Get the
Legends
fuck
of
out.
Tomorrow is a really fun TV show.
I do really like Legends of Tomorrow.
Like,
a
it doesn't
lot.
take itself seriously here, which is great. Like,
I mean, I like Arrow.
Arrow's good, but it kind of here and
Clearly
there
the only
just.
one.
Like, I like Arrow, and then Arrow gets lackluster.
It gets
Yeah.
really boring.
I kind of stopped watching
It
Arrow.
gets
Flash is I've been like
super
Flash.
melodramatic.
Flash is fun also.
And I think we're gonna end with the Guardians. They release the soundtracks to the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they're really fucking cool. Like you have,
ELO's Mr. Blue Sky's opening track.
yeah, you have Electric Light Orchestra's Mr. Blue Sky, but you have Surrender by Cheap
Me
Trick.
too.
I'm like,
I was a great
yeah,
fan.
Wham Bang Shang-a-Lang from Silver. Like these fucking old ass songs, and you're just like, all right, you win. And David Hasselhoff's gonna be in it. Guardians Inferno
Oh my god.
By Sneap or whatever.
by the Sneepers.
Also, since we're talking about Guardians, the Guardians, Telltale's Guardians of the Galaxy game, episode 1 came out, and that was really fun. It had the very Guardians of the Galaxy feel like in the movies, and it had the classic old music, and it was a really fun, kind of feels like games. It's Guardians' little feels here and there. So
Yeah, I think that game was like I think a lot of Telltale games are fun to begin with, and this is one of the few ones besides like the Minecraft one when that was teen, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, because a lot of the other ones that are
Jurassic
just
Park
like,
one.
Yeah, Jurassic Park was. I thought it was M.
oh right, yeah, no, and the Back to the Future. My bad.
Yeah, Back to the Future. Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't really like
Okay.
Telltale games.
Yeah, I was
hit
just
and miss.
saying the most modern day Telltale games are.
Wolf Among Us was my favorite so
I don't
far.
like the whole point and click thing.
I'm fine with that because
I think it's fun. I like the story.
But Putt Putt Goes to the Moon, man. Putt Putt Goes to Zoo. Those are point and click.
I don't know. I don't feel like I'm actually playing the game.
Oh, that's very understandable.
It
It
is.
is very more story driven than it is game driven. All right, so we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll come back. We'll talk about Samurai Jack. And we're back, and now we're gonna spend the next 10 or so minutes talking about the new revival of Samurai Jack. Oh, watch out! And I think we talked about this for a little bit, but like now I can feel like we can go into kind of a lot more in depth because we're in the 5th episode,
Halfway through.
halfway
Halfway
through
through,
of
yeah.
the 10 episode series. It's really good.
And
Yeah.
dark.
Very
And
dark.
It's super dark as shit. Like I love the characters in here. I love Jack in this.
Mhm.
Jack is just
He's-
wounded.
He's done.
He doesn't give a
man.
fuck.
He doesn't give a
And
shit.
he's crazy.
He's
Walking in
crazy as
pasta.
fuck. He's like, he's got PTSD of
Yes.
the asshole. He's like, every time he sees
50 years
just
of it.
dying children everywhere in his views. Holy shit.
Yeah, like that last episode, like until that very end, you think that those children are dead, and then
Yeah,
he
okay,
thinks it's
so we'll start with episode 1. So episode 1 is like, Jack's back, and he's like fighting giant beetle creatures, and he's got a motorcycle, and you're like,
he's in
yes.
full battle armor.
Yes, and then you find out like Jack doesn't have his sword anymore, and you're like, what? No.
Yeah.
And you see this weird birthing scene where these 7 daughters of Aku are just coming out of this lady's vagina, and they're like training them to be killing machines. And Jack comes in front of this cyborg who does he play a flute or?
Yeah, he plays something
Yeah, he
like
plays
that.
something.
He's a cyborg samurai who's like, Jack, I've been destroying this place for like days. Where have you been? And Jack's like, I don't even give a shit anymore, dude.
And he has a tuning fork, and just that tuning fork dagger, and it does like
Yeah.
immense damage.
And Jack fucking kills the cyborg. He's like, whatever. And then episode 2 goes in. It shows, it's 2 stories in one because it shows a wolf fighting like a giant tiger creature,
Mm-hmm.
and then Jack basically running away from the daughters of Aku, which are these well-trained fucking assassins that are like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, Jack, and that's all we ever know. And like, so Jack is like in this castle where it appears to be like a Viking or knight's castle,
Mhm.
and like he's running away from these chicks who are just obliterating and mauling him. And at the same time, that's the story of this like dog wolf who's like fighting this tiger and who's dying just like Jack. So there's supposed to be a representation of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And like my favorite scene of that is like the daughters of Aku are hunting Jack down, and Jack is like sitting, laying
when
in the
he's in
He's just in a
crypt.
cult.
Yeah, he's laying in a
Yeah.
crypt, and this dramatic music is playing, and like the fireflies are dwindling, and Jack just sees the fireflies like, oh shit, no, it's gone, and then boosh, just
And he
nonstop
just
action,
jumps out.
and just starts fighting off these daughters of Aku who have legitimate weapons that aren't fossilized. Like Jack has to use swords that are so brittle and rusted that they're breaking every time he uses them. And the episode ends where he's being chased and he's got a dagger in his side. He's being chased by one of the daughters of Aku, and he stabs her.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack, implying throughout the episode, past Jack is like, yeah, why don't you just kill yourself now? He's like, no, I just gotta live. And then he finds out he kills a person, and it just drives him insane a
It
little
does.
bit. And he jumps off the edge of the river.
He uses the fucking tuning fork dagger to fucking against the wall
Yeah.
to block the entrance
Mhm.
as he jumps. Yeah.
Yep. And that ends episode 2 with the ending of with the wolf, which is implied to be the wolf in episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That he is still running away in episode 3, and episode 3 is him like he's like, fuck it, I don't care anymore, I'm gonna kill these guys. These people are after me for no apparent reason, I don't even know why.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts making these spears and everything, and it's winter and it's snowing. It's all white, pure white.
Wait, let's pause. Let's go back. Episode 2 began with A.K.A. and a day in the life of A.K.A. basically for a bit.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
being a shrink to himself.
Yeah.
Because he too is also like the samurais in here. What is my existence in life anymore? Like, I've taken over everything. And I think that's another interesting thing is like you sympathize for the villain even though you know he's still kind of a dick.
The A.K.A. moments are some of the more like
Yeah.
humorous moments in the show.
Yeah, they are. It brings a little lightheartedness to it. But I think there was another thing I forgot to bring up. There is a dark figure in a horse
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the
In the
samurai,
first
like,
episode,
freaking warrior ghost.
that like is it's implied it must be like Jack's future. I don't know what it is.
I think he's an ancestor. To me, it sounds like an
Yeah.
ancestor.
But he's brought up in episode 5, but we'll bring that up later.
Mhm.
So, like, in episode 3, the daughters of Aku finally catch up to him, and he has been, like, living with this dog for I don't know how long, enough for them to be healed.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Jack pulls this attack, and then just starts throwing spears at these chicks, and then basically killing them
He
off one by one.
pretty much fucking
Yeah, he
annihilates
does.
Yeah.
them.
Annihilates the shit out of them until there's one left. And she ties the fucking her whip chain around him as she's falling with him. And it ends with them falling
into the snowy
into
abyss.
the snowy abyss. And then it jumps to Rick and Morty season 1.
Season
which
3.
is season 3, episode 1, which is really thing that happened because originally, again we've talked about this before, but originally Toonami was going to air the new episodes of Samurai Dragon Ball Super, all of those, but instead it was like wubba-lubba-dub-dub, Rick and Morty season 3, episode 1. I'm like, that's cool, but it's kind of fucked up.
April Fools.
But to jump back into episode 4 is they survive the fall, obviously, and you
Yeah.
find out that what is the name of her? What is her
I
name?
don't know, but
Oh,
she
fuck.
she thinks that he's evil and she's been brainwashed to fuck.
And they get eaten by a leviathan.
And the
Like
entire
creature.
episode is basically Jack trying to keep her alive.
Yeah,
Well,
because
she's trying to kill him still.
Yeah, because she's tied up. Because Jack's like, you know what? Fuck you. I am not going to die because of you. And there's a lot of awesome humanizing moments within this. Like there's the episode, like when it starts to rain needles, and he's like, oh, well, we better get started. And he's like slowly takes one off of her, and then takes one off of him, and it's like, all right, that's understandable.
I think the final scene in that episode has been one of my favorite.
What was it?
Is that the
Like,
ladybug?
It's when the ladybug
Yeah.
lands on her finger and she remembers that from being a kid and training with Aku, and she like looked through the little crack in the wall and saw like outside and like saw like all the nature and stuff, and then the one ladybug flew in there and landed on her finger, and she's like, "Aw, ladybug, I like this." And then the teacher lady was just
Yeah.
like, "No, we don't like these things. They let them distract us," and then smushes it and
Smash.
kills it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
flies
her name
off.
is Ashi, by the way.
Ashi.
Flies off Ashi's finger onto Jack's finger, and she notices that, and like instead of squishing it, he just lets it be, and then just kind of sends it on his way.
Yeah, and
It's a really beautiful
very,
moment.
very openizing moment to like maybe like she'll change, which goes into episode 5, which brings back my favorite character from the
It starts
series.
with a massive battle.
It brings the Scotsman and his daughters, and he goes to one of his daughters like, "Why are you dressed like that? You look like you're about to go dancing." "Sorry, Dad." And he turns to his other daughters, "Why are you dressed like that?" "Sorry, Father."
And they cover up.
cover themselves up in their kilt-like robes, and
And
they go into battle, and they get destroyed.
Well, he's in a fucking wheelchair, and his left leg is a fucking minigun.
His left leg has always been a
Always
minigun.
was?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
His left
shit.
leg has always been a minigun.
Okay.
Now it's just up on a wheelchair.
Okay.
And so, like, they're fighting Aku, and Aku's obviously going to beat them, but Aku's like, "What's with all this noise?" And one of his things like, "Oh, you're being attacked." He's like, "Huh? Really? Okay."
Unzips the window, looks out.
Yeah, and then he goes down and just obliterates the armies. And then the Scotsman knows they're going to lose, so he goes, run all of you. They're like, no, Dad. And then they still do. And he gives his whole like powerful monologue. He's like, you'll never beat us. Not at all. Not with the samurai's hope within inside us. And he's just turns him into a skeleton. I'm like, no.
It was hilarious.
No. He's my favorite character.
It was actually what was actually really
Yeah,
funny.
it was
like,
really funny. And I was like, oh man, I really liked him. He's like my favorite. And then he comes back to life as a specter because of Celtic magic. And he comes back to life looking like he did.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, alright, that's awesome. And then what happens next is like, this is the very big like, Ashi is finally like, yeah, you're right, Aku's kind of a dick.
Because Jack's showing her like.
Well,
all
no,
the-
beforehand,
Oh, the dragon.
no, I was gonna go. She has a weird fever dream about her former master telling her,
yeah.
kill the samurai right now. He's like, no, he saved me. Like, why would I do such a thing like that? He's like, because you were trained to do that. But he tells me Aku is evil. Don't listen to his lies. How do I know if he's lies or not? And then the samurai disappears in the water, and she's like, he left me. What a dick. All of a sudden, giant sea dragon. And Jack's like, come with me. And so he gets them off of wherever they were into like another island, and he tries to part ways, and he starts having PTSD around the fire again with like innocent people crying, and then she shows up. He's like, oh fuck, what do you want? She's like, how do I know you're lying about Aku being evil? He's like, I'll show you. He's like, okay. And he's like, can we like rest first, dude? He's like, fine. She's just laying on the rocks, and she tells Jack, she's like, we were told Aku created the stars, and Jack's like, no, he didn't. He's like, well, who do you think created the stars? And Jack tells this old Japanese story about the brother and sister, Sun and Moon, who jumped on a phoenix and shot arrows that exploded into stars, and it makes her feel nice and warm inside.
It was a nice anime. I really liked that animation.
Out of all the episodes, this one's probably my least favorite, but it's really important for her character
It
progression.
is. A lot of character growth.
So the first thing Jack shows her on her journey of why Aku is evil is that this place was a beautiful forest at one time, and now that's all that's left is this tree. And she's like, why didn't Aku destroy it all? Because Aku wanted something to show the symbol of his power. That like at any moment he could wipe this all out of existence. Then he goes to Aku City, which then he steals clothes to look like a motherfucking pimp.
He does. Pimp hat and all.
And he's like, this is, these people, they welcome scum and villainy from other planets, and they send them to live on inhabited areas of innocent people.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, is there a problem with this? He's like, nah, I'm just going to fuck shit up. So then then they walk away, and this is where Jack's like, I give up. I can't do any of this anymore. And she's like, why? And then they hear like, help me. And you see this like blue furry dude like, you've come back, Samurai Jack. And he's like, what happened? Aku. And they took the children, and so they go to this factory area where you see the children have been implanted with chips by this weird soldier dude with enough frequency turns them into crazy ballistic animals. And so they're running away, and Jack tells Ashi to find the source. And Jack is being fucking attacked by these small children.
And he refuses like to hurt him because they're just innocent.
Yeah. And so Ashi gets cornered where the main bad guy in this episode is. He's explaining to him like, oh, look, a samurai supporter. Well, you suck. And so what happens is that like she is being electrocuted to death, and like for some reason her will of power allowed her to escape the machine and beat the shit out of the guy and fry the chips basically, which Jack doesn't know it just fried the chips, but he automatically thinks everyone is dead because they're passed out, and so PTSD just kicks in even more, and the dark figure that you saw in the first episode comes again and is like, are you ready to accept your fate? And Jack's like, yes. And he disappears. And Ashi's like, Jack, where'd you go? And she's like, just proud and happy that those kids are alive still and that they did it.
And it ends.
Yeah, and end all be all, I really like this series a lot. This is one of the few series where like nostalgia kicks in, but at the same time, it's still really, really good. This is kind of what I'm hoping that Invader Zim movie is, where it's like it still takes place in that universe and it still has the heart, but it's its own story. It's not like trying to be like, remember when this happened? Huh? Huh? Callbacks.
Yeah, it's a really good standalone
It
series.
is.
Yeah.
The final series, unfortunately. But
Which is fine. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
said,
no,
like
it is,
I'm
it
not
is.
like
It deserves an
not a
ending.
big fan of the X Files revival, and I really like Dragon Ball Super because like the newer episodes of Dragon Ball Super are much more cooler because like they brought back Android 17, but they're like really like it makes sense for the story. Like that's what I like about like if you bring back something back, make it make sense to the story that you had already, but don't be like, remember when this happened? Yeah. So I give Samurai Jack, I give it a solid like 8.
Yeah, I give it like an 8.5 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going full 10 with this one, but yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing. And so that was our podcast this week. Yeah. Hopefully we'll actually finally have Max in one of the main ones, and yeah.
Yeah, Max.
Yeah, Max.
Get your shit together, man.
Come on. I'm Katie Vanias.
I'm Jay Oldenkamp.
I'm Ryan Freeman.
Good night.
Yep.